In today's world, so many things go unspoken.
But now is the time to speak truth to those conversations so we can finally address trauma and awaken healing.
I'm C-Lane, an entrepreneur, sound designer, composer, and truth seeker.
And my name is Brodie, artist, educator, and content creator. Welcome to Open Canvas. Let's paint!
All right. What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of Open Canvas. That's good. Okay, we're gonna work on that little the buzzer beater.
I quit.
What's going on, y'all? As always, let us know if you are experiencing any technical difficulties on your end. We hope that you don't. We hope we have a great experience. This is episode number 39, where we are talking about sexual compatibility. Ooh. So as always, we're gonna get right into it. We love to start with definitions. So Brodie, what do you think of defines sexual compatibility for us?
Well, it's for something to be compatible, it means that two things have to be able to function properly to operate or execute a task.
Come on, doctor.
So when I think of sexual compatibility, I think of more so the physical aspect. Like, what do these two components have that when they come together, it meshes well enough to have a great experience? So when I think about sexual compatibility, I know we talked a little bit earlier about physical things, whereas let's just say talking with like male and female, if they are both heterosexual people that love having heterosexual sex, that would make them compatible. Now, there are situations where people aren't compatible. For example, if we were to have, are sexually compatible, let me clarify. If we were to have two people who identified as more so submissive or the recessive end, for an example, two male cisgendered men that identified as bottoms, probably not the most sexually compatible.
Okay. And now is that just on a physical level? How far does sexual compatibility reach?
Ooh. So this is tricky because sexual compatibility and sexual chemistry.
Ooh.
Yes. The two are both in attendance at the party, but not always.
Yeah.
Whereas someone can have sexual chemistry, but if they're not compatible, then it stops at the chemistry. Whereas, okay, for an example, let's just say using people, let's just say if we had two gay men that identified as tops, there can be chemistry there all day, where they can both find each other their aesthetic physically attractive. They can enjoy the conversation. There's something that may happen to them internally. The arousal may be there. However, when it gets down to get physical, I feel like my hat is lopsided. When it gets down to being physical, there's that difficulty, where it's like, who is going to be on the receiving end and who is going to be the giver? Because, that's both of them are known for taking the position that they are the tops.
Okay. So I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
So now when we look at compatibility, right? Because this is something that people experience even before they meet somebody. They're thinking, who is my type is something that we hear a lot. Who am I trying to get? Who am I looking to date? Right? It's a topic of conversation you have with yourself before you go out there.
Facts.
So let's start there. Let's start at square one, and then we'll navigate it, right? So when we think of what is your type, right? I'm assuming that this is a question that you have asked yourself before.
Like me personally, what is my type?
Yeah, and I want to know, has it shifted? Has it always been the same? Yeah, what would you say your type is? And people in the chat, we want to know your type too.
Yes.
So, do you have a type, or is everybody available?
I mean, I think it's I think it's fair to say that I have a preference. Um, am I bogged down to that preference? No, I'm open. But things that, whew, oh, but see, this is okay, but this is a we gotta get specific. So, are we talking about
Yes.
like what am I attracted to, or are we talking about what is something that gives me good sexual chemistry, or are we talking about sexual compatibility?
We're talking about compatibility now. So we're
Okay.
talking about do you look for in somebody that makes you like, oh, I know if I find this person, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna be compatible with them.
I mean, mm, I mean, I think the only thing that you would know prior is what positions y'all play. And I think, but before then, I mean, like, and even then, because you guys may have positions that are complementary, it still doesn't negate the fact that, like, okay, is this person a good listener? Does this person
Okay.
know how to read your body language? Um, are they a generous lover? Like, there are
Mm,
so many things that are into it. So, like, I
okay.
would say when sexually, what is something that's very compatible for me, I need to know that someone is listening. I need to
Yes.
know that their sex or lovemaking, I need it to be definitely present
Mm.
with some with a beautiful tango of aggression and tenderness.
Ooh. Come
Yeah.
on, aggression, tenderness. Put it in a blender and you got some love.
Like,
That's
I need to
good.
know that you're present, but at the same time, I need to know that you're not trying to hurt me. You're just trying to let me know that you're there.
Yes. Yes.
I need passion. I need heat. Like,
Okay.
so, like, things like that. I mean, I feel like you can't get that off of just seeing someone, because
Sure.
there are some people that I'm like, oh man, they ain't shit. And then, like,
Yeah.
some way and somehow you find yourself in an intimate setting with them. And it's like, wow, really judged
Mm.
that book by its cover, and I shouldn't have. Woo!
Now, okay, now this is something that I want to bring up, right? So when you say good listener, heat, all of these good things, all of these good quality things.
Hmm.
Now, when let's say you get I know a lot of people who have gotten into a relationship, right? They could have their list, right? Just as you told me, you got your list of things that you love. That's good.
All right.
Then you get into a relationship and you forget about your list.
Hmm.
I feel like, and I have experienced this too. Let me speak for me too. I have experienced knowing, what I want, what I'm looking for, and then when you're in a relationship with somebody, you kind of let things ease on by. You kind of you bypass some things, and you say, "Oh, they don't do that." But they do this, so I can stay in it. I can do
Mm.
this a little longer. So it's like I feel like as soon as we get into a relationship, sometimes we're blinded to some extent. Would you agree? Would anybody agree with that?
I think
Because you
some
want to make it work.
exactly, and because you want to make it work, you become not blind to what they lack, but blind to your priorities. I assume.
Oh,
Be-
blind to your. I'm writing that down.
because what you that person, they coming into a relationship, you didn't know what they possessed and what they had. So you don't know what they could have brought to the table. Sometimes you can be surprised and have the best lover in your life. You didn't know some things that they did to you that you actually needed.
Oh.
But it wasn't. There was no change on their end. It was a change
Mm,
in your priorities, where
mm,
instead of it being that in your sexual needs being a
mm.
thing where you were like, hey, in order for me to get to a point, I need this, that, and the fourth. It became oh, but I love them and I really want this relationship to work, and so it's okay. They
It's
they
okay.
take the trash out. They make sure
Right, right.
you know,
They don't really love me, but they take the trash out. They
Trash,
do the dishes.
but trash ain't got shit to do with sex, you know. So it's like we find
Yeah,
these
yeah.
ways to kind of not to diminish our priorities.
Ooh.
Um, and it's not fair to them or nor fair to you because at some point you're like,
Mm.
how long are you going to be okay with complacent sex?
Okay. That's good. Now, let me play not the devil's advocate because I don't communicate with the devil. But let me flip the coin for a second, right?
Hmm.
I had a friend that told me, "Hey, you don't have to get all of the things from that you had on your priority list necessarily from a romantic interest. Sometimes you might just have to find a way to get that from yourself or from friends." So they were coming with the notion of don't try to find everything in a romantic partner. Because then if they don't fulfill it, then you're like, I gotta leave. I can't do this. So they were saying, if they fulfill a lot of things, cool. And if they don't, then is there a way to fulfill that elsewhere? And of course, this is probably, and that could be for anything, honestly.
Well, first of all, I want to say Jail said hate a boring lay. Auntie, I'm right there with you. We ain't got time for it.
Okay, come on, define that for me. What
A
is that?
boring lay? Like,
Yeah.
you know, where you would rather watch paint dry than to be intimate with this person?
Oh
Or
goodness.
or as the late
Not
great
paint dry.
Queen Whitney Houston said, I could have had a V8.
Come on, Splash.
Yes. Was it Whitney? Ooh, please don't.
Was it? I don't know.
Oh no. I could that was someone else. I think she said, nah, I'm gonna keep her at the damn zoo because the sex was so all over the place where
Oh.
um she had this built up fantasy about this man that she was dating. And before the intimacy happened, this man was beautiful. Like he had this nice
Mm-hmm.
body, nice skin, nice smile, sexy, had a nice, he knew how to wear a suit,
Yeah.
like just everything. And like she was just like, I ain't even gonna see no future with this dude, but he's just fine. And this is what I need for right now. And
Mm.
when she got it, it was gone faster than it
Dang.
came.
Dang.
Um, but yeah, I think that like now with that, what you brought up,
Yeah.
I think that's weird. I think that's tough because looking for it depends on what you're talking about looking for in a romantic partner. I think that's more
Sure.
so with like personality perspective, from a personality perspective, or like what you need as far as non-sexual. Yes, I don't think that
Mm.
your significant other has to satiate every all of your needs. I think,
Mm-hmm.
and I even tell people, I said, I think that it's healthy. Excuse me, I just burped. I think it's healthy to have a life outside of your partner. That way,
Mm.
when you guys get back together, you guys can share some things and talk about like what you learned. If you're
Sure.
always learning something with someone at the same time, it's
Ooh.
like, oh, hey, you remember that thing? I learned about this thing in this class. It's like, yeah, I was right there with you. Oh, yeah, that's true. So it's like you don't have anything to come back and to discuss.
That's good though.
The
A
need
life
to
outside of your partner. That's good.
yeah, the need to miss them is no longer there. So I agree with that, but I think that still doesn't necessarily tackle the sexual aspect of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless
Unless you
you're,
got
unless you're somebody like me that has sexual attraction based on your like conversations and stuff, right? So it's tied. It's definitely tied together. It's not like separate. Like if what you can't find from a personality standpoint, you can't find from a sexual standpoint. It's integrated. It is.
okay, but wouldn't that be somewhat infidelity if you are trying to seek something that is a sexual turn on through a friend? Not
Well, we know that that's the whole stipulation by people offering open relationships to their partners and polygamous relationships, right? So there's a whole network of people who are in a monogamous relationship that can't find necessarily the sexual, compatibility and look at, okay, what can we do to still keep this relationship, make it work, but allow some other energies to fulfill what we need. So it happens.
For sure. I mean, and the whole thing with the open and polyamorous relationships, I can't speak on that because I have no experience with that whatsoever. But I've seen it be very effective for friends that I do know are in poly relationships.
Mm.
Um, and I think that's fine. But if we're speaking from a monogamous perspective, if
Okay.
you're someone who is, let's just say, if you're a sapiosexual, or nope, I'll take it back, a demisexual, because demisexuals are people who have to get to a point where they grow a bond with that person to find them attractive or to be turned on. If you are seeking that arousal of conversation and getting to know someone through someone who is not your significant other, I mean, would that be considered infidelity? If you're in a
And you're
monog
talking the sexual standpoint, like the actual, like physical
like
standpoint.
if you can't if you like if it gets to a point where it's just like, let's just say conversations about cuttlefish turn you on, and you are never getting this stimulating conversation about cuttlefish from your partner,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you got friend such and such over there who's like a scientist who's working on
Okay, I
research.
see. And it turns you on.
It turns you on. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, okay.
I could like, I
That's
don't know,
good.
like, I mean, it just seems like if that is the thing that gets you on,
Mm.
and you happen to use that in order to get back to your partner to be intimate, are you really thinking about your partner within the moment with your partner, or are you thinking about the conversation you had prior to your partner?
Mm. Okay, okay. That's good.
If anyone has the answer to that, please let us know what you think about that, because I have no idea.
Facts. Um. Okay, so we did have a. Oh, that's good. Okay, so to sum that up, right? We starting from square one, which is okay. Do we going into a relationship? Do we have a quote unquote type of some sort?
Mm,
We realize that sometimes our type is very personality based. So now let's talk about um, what happens when you have a type, right? Whether it's personality based, whether it's
physical.
physical based. What happens when you don't, when you can't find that? Like, do you? I know some people that will settle, right? I know some people that will settle and just say, "Hey, I'm gonna find this person. I'm gonna find somebody."
Hmm.
Um, and then, would you recommend that somebody just wait? Like, what do you do in this situation where you're kind of in limbo? Like, I have my priority list, right? We talked about that. Somebody who got their priority list.
Uh-huh.
What's that? What's the next step?
So I think you have to think about what on your like, again, it just falls under to how you prioritize it. Like,
Mm,
if there are things on your list that are non-negotiable, if there are things that are negotiable, if there are things that are
mm.
not a big deal,
Okay.
and I
Okay.
feel like whatever falls under the non-negotiable list, if you really are feeling someone and you wanting to talk to or date them, I think that it's not, I think it's fine if you see that you guys are going to be moving forward and you really like them. But if you need to address, like, hey, I like you a lot, and I kind of like the trajectory that we're going in,
Mm.
but I would like it better if such A and B and C wasn't a thing. And how do you feel about that? Is that something that you are willing to compromise?
Mm.
And if they aren't, then you have to ask yourself, is this non-negotiable?
Right.
And if it is, if it's non-negotiable, you can like not settle at all, then I just say
Mm.
you have to part your ways, because there's nothing worse. Ooh, Candy asked, what are y'all's non-negotiables?
That's good. Non-negotiables. Um, that's good.
Ooh.
For me, I feel like a non. I mean, this is just the first one I'm thinking of. For me, I feel like a non-negotiable is like if you have no spiritual life.
Mm,
That's a non-negotiable. I'm like, you got to have some sort of forward. I don't know, momentum of purpose and
Yeah, that's real.
yeah.
Uh,
So that's the first one I think of. What about you?
yeah. That's that's ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Candy,
Mm-hmm.
you making me think on my own damn show. What
Yeah.
that's the point.
Mm-hmm.
Non-negotiable for me. Um, you have to know who you are. You have to know who you are. You
Oh,
can't find that with me. You have to have that already
that's deep.
prepared. Because
That's deep.
I can't help you search for something in a place I've never been.
Oh, that's deep. Oh, that's
Right?
deep. I can't help you. Y'all gotta quote that. Anybody catch that?
Yeah,
I
that
can't help you
ooh,
search for something in a place I've never
like
been.
that's just where I'm at. Um
Mm.
Yeah, I can't do that for you. I mean, I would love to cheer you on. I would love to be support for you, but
Yeah.
for me to find something within you where I just met you and I'm learning this territory,
Mm.
that's hard. That's hard. You're literally putting me in a search party in the dark without any flashlights.
Come on. Come on.
So, that for me is a deal breaker. And
Know yourself.
you have
Mm.
to. You have to. And it's no shade or anything, but it's just like also it goes back to just dating period. If you're dating to get to know someone, how the hell you gonna get to know somebody else if you don't know yourself?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think that's a deal breaker for me.
That's good. I think another one, if we're talking from a physical standpoint, for me would be if somebody is not open at all to trying new things in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Um, that would
Yeah.
be a complete like I think non-negotiable turn off for me because I'm like, for me personally, I need to have some sort of just some sort of unpredictability, involved in something, right? If I can predict something, I'm like, okay, I know how this is gonna be, but some sort of like, hey, let's try this time, or let's do something differently, or something.
That's why I think when it comes to sex, communication is so key so you can know like where the boundaries are. But even though there are limitations, there are still so many possibilities within
It
those
is.
limitations.
It is.
And if you are just like, oh, I'm just gonna do this, I'm just gonna do that, and well, penetration happens, so it's great. And it's like,
No,
no.
but there's a whole oyster world. There's a whole world out here. Yeah.
So yeah, like really take the time to, like I said, body language is so important to me. Like if you try something new and if I'm giving you responsive moments that say,
Mm.
hey, go, the light is green, keep
Yeah.
going, try a little bit further, I will put up a yellow light if I need to, but I'd rather you try some things that
Yeah.
are within my boundaries than to just be like, I'm just going to play it safe.
Mm.
If I want to live a safe relationship, I'll just stay with myself because I already know what the hell I want. I already know who the hell I am.
Yeah.
I'm dating you not for safety. I'm
Ooh.
dating you for growth
Mm-hmm.
and to gain something. When you're dating someone, it is a gamble because you don't know what the hell they may bring to the table.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know what you can bring, and you know that's something that you're willing to share. And also, you're willing to have something new, something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's good. That's good. And yeah, that's a good question to ask ourselves. And it's like, I feel like there's some benefit to actually writing things down. I don't know about anybody else out there, but
Oh, yeah.
like we say these things like, what are your non-negotiables and what is on your priority list in terms of sexual compatibility or personality compatibility.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, if we don't have it like written somewhere, then it's so easy to forget because we are oftentimes blinded by love.
Really? See, my intuition is so strong, so I don't forget. Like,
And
like it's one of those things where it hits me so hard. I'd be like, this don't feel right. It don't feel right. It don't feel.
no, okay, yes, but Okay, so are you saying you have not been in that situation where like you have had that feeling of this don't feel right, but you ease through it? You're just like, oh, okay, I could put that on the back burner for right now, even though I have this feeling that this flag, I'm going to keep going and see how the relationship plays out.
How red is this flag we're talking? Like, is this thing like beet red?
Maybe, but
Like it
don't
got a
all
pulse?
red flags start off like yellow?
No.
Hey, sometimes they do somewhere down the line. There's a hint to something.
Like,
But let's say it's a yellow flag. Let's say it's a little yellow. It's a yellow flag. It's like it's something. Okay, what was one of your non-negotiables? One of your non-negotiables was somebody that don't know themselves, right? So you're in something with somebody and you see a moment where, or several moments where they don't know their purpose. You know, they don't know why they're doing certain things. They're sort of in limbo, which
just
happens.
aimlessly walking through life.
Aimlessly walking through life.
Um. Uh.
Do
Then
you let it play out?
no, absolutely not.
Okay. Okay.
And the reason I said that because I'm in a place where I know what I need, and if I, not saying that it's a waste of time, but like I said, I can't help you find yourself. So if I can't do that for you, that is something you have to do for yourself. I hope you can understand that like it's nothing against you. It's just that we are in different parts of our lives. And if I were to wait for you to catch up to where I am, then that's I don't know when that's going to happen. You know, I don't know if that's going to be next week, if that's going to be next year or in the next decade. And I don't that's not fair to me or any other potential prospect out there who is where I'm already at.
Sure.
So instead of trying to wait for someone to meet me, let me find someone who's already there.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, switching gears for a little bit. So, I had somebody bring up that when it comes to sexual compatibility, a lot of times we can't always go based off of how somebody looks, right? We have to factor energy into it. And this person brought up yin and yang. So for people that don't know about yin and yang is pretty much the concept of a balance of both masculine and feminine energies. And now, as you and I have talked about in previous conversations, a person, whether they identify as a man, a woman, or something non-binary, no matter how they identify, they possess some sort of mixture of these energies.
Yep.
So I want to pose that question to us and to our audience. Do you ever find yourself in a situation where somebody does not have a balance of those energies? Do you feel like you need a balance of those energies? Or are you like, look, all I need is masculine energy. I don't need no emotions. I don't need this, is it a balance?
Oh no. Like you gotta I gotta see that you can feel something. Like the more I mature and dating, it really means a lot to me when someone that I date can tap into emotions, and if they feel the need to express a sense of sensitivity or femininity, like it's fine. I just think that like yeah, I need someone who has the tools to understand how how they need to move and why it's important to them, and to express that to me as well. That way we can both be on the same page. Uh, I feel like when you date someone new, it's like they're kind of giving you a manual about how they operate. And it's like, okay, so this is that, this and this and that. And you can decide to continue build this relationship with them, or you be like, nah, let's put this shit back in the box and send it back. Like it's up to you. But yeah, I think that I personally need someone who is well in tune with what they need. What about you?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Whew. Yeah. I mean, for me, I think it goes along with what you brought up of somebody that knows themselves. I think the more you know yourself, the more you know how to balance your own masculine and feminine energy.
Yes.
Um, so that is definitely something that I need. That might even show up in my non-negotiable list. I don't know if they can't balance their energies. But yeah, I can't just do all masculine energy. I can't just do all feminine energy. I think knowing in what situations to sort of weave in and out of that. And what we mean by that, for people who don't know, and help me out with this, Brodie, like a lot of times how we think of masculine energy is associated with like uh, protection. It's associated with like action and like
Yeah.
you know.
Like you always have to have the appearance where you are the problem solver, you're the hero, you're the yeah, like the protector, like you said.
Yeah.
There's never a time where you can be soft or subtle or show any emotion. You always have to just be
Mm.
hardcore and like cold the whole damn time. But if I wanted to date something cold, I would fuck around with the iceberg. I don't need that in my life. So,
Come on, Glacier.
right.
Um,
Um, yeah, I need someone who can like, if you're upset about something, talk to me. Don't go around breaking stuff because we have to replace that and that's expensive. Or don't give me the cold shoulder. Like it took you up to X amount of years to realize who you are. So if I'm just meeting you and we've been dating for a couple months or even a year, I'm still learning you. I have to play catch up. So please be patient with me as I am catching up in the course of learning you.
mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's good. And yeah, when we think about quote unquote feminine energy, it is associated with vulnerability. It's associated with clear emotions. It's associated with being more in tune with the heart and sort of love. So all that is to say, we each have some sort of mixture in the spectrum of these energies,
Yeah.
which is a beautiful way of how the world is made.
Right.
Um, and yeah, for me, somebody that falls too much on one side, um, it might even play into me being bisexual. It's like I really need both energies. And not necessarily from a physical standpoint, but both of those shared masculine and feminine energies. I definitely need a healthy balance.
For sure. I think everyone, if they just allowed themselves to feel whatever they're feeling like to express whatever they're feeling at the moment, they would realize that they realize themselves that they would need a healthy balance of both, especially because both males and females possess estrogen and testosterone.
Come on,
So it's like it's
educate.
right. So there's chemicals in you that are allowing you to say, hey, there are some features that might be effeminate, and that's okay. There are some features that might be masculine, and that's okay. Like, accept those. Do not try to suppress them. Do not try to deny them because society says that
Mm,
you are less of your gender because of that. It's not up to them to decide what your gender is. It is how you feel, what your truth is in the inside that determines your gender, that determines who you are as a
yes.
person. And I just need my partner to be aware of that.
Facts. Okay, cool. All right, what else you got over there, Brownie?
So if some of you follow me on Instagram or even the page, I might have asked some questions.
Okay.
And one of the questions that I prompted everyone on Instagram was, what are some characteristics that your best sexual partner that you were compatible with,
Ooh.
what are the qualities that they possessed? And so
Mm.
while our audience answered that question, C-Lane,
That's
I'm
very
going to
interesting.
ask you,
Okay.
what are the qualities that your best sexual compatible partner possessed?
Best sexual compatible partner. And are you asking me in the past?
I'm asking you in your whole sexual career, who,
Okay.
what was,
Um,
yeah, talk about it.
for me, part of, like I said before, experimentation, just experimentation in the bedroom, is something that keeps things exciting for me. Um, Also, I would say an understanding that an understanding of bisexuality is a huge thing. And sure, that is something that I can talk about and discuss. If the other person has no awareness of it, that's
Right.
cool. But a receptivity to it, right? You have to be receptive to my sexuality, because even if I'm with you, that doesn't mean that I'm looking for somebody else, but that means that I have to be able to discuss things as they come up with my sexual orientation.
Right.
So that's another thing. Most sexually compatible, they gotta be good romantic partners. I'm a Scorpio, so romance a lot of times comes easy to us. We are oftentimes exciting in the bedroom because we have this mysterious element. We know romance comes easy.
Y'all some freaks.
And we some freaks. Come on, you can say it. You ain't gotta whisper it. Any Scorpio out there know what I'm talking about. So in return, I don't necessarily need somebody to be the exact same way, but I think having a sense of patience in the bedroom is very important to me. A lot of times people want to rush through things, or like we said before, they want to do it the same way. But for me, patience, like I want to breathe with the person.
Yes.
I want to,
Yeah.
I want to match heart rates. I want to get to know the intricacies and the details of somebody else's body. I don't always want the lights completely black so that I can't see anything. I want to know this person in and out. I don't want things to be removed from that equation. So that's a big thing for me as well, is will you let me see you?
Wow. Yeah. So before I respond with, first of all, let me just that was a great response. Let's talk about this. These comments that we got from JL, who said, "Genuine eagerness to please." Yes.
Genuine eagerness to please. Yeah.
Like
a genuine, underline genuine now.
Genuine that's
underline genuine.
It is. There is something. It is such a turn on when your partner gives you those eyes where they just want to take you out from wherever you are right now and just be one with you, and like just want to feel you, touch you, taste you,
devour.
Yes. That shit is sexy. Oh my God. Like, so speaking of Scorpios, there you talked about, like, you guys are very being freaky. One of the things I really like about it though is that so there was a Scorpio I dated about a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And when I tell you, I didn't realize the discomfort that I had with being desired, but also didn't know how much I needed to be desired until I dated this Scorpio. When this man,
go on, speak on it now.
This man,
y'all ever dated a Scorpio out there? The people that's tuned in.
This man took my breath and gave me breath at the same damn time. Like, first of all, it was very romantic. There was literally
resuscitation.
We literally, when we met and we went on our first date, we did not leave the bedroom for a full day. And it wasn't even all like sex. It was just the intimacy, the conversation. We literally only, I want to say, we brought snacks into the bedroom so we didn't have to
leave. All right. Yeah.
It was just, we created this bubble, and like that was just a great moment. And like, in between there was moments of hugging and kissing, but then like got right back into it. And then it was like
Yeah.
it would have seemed as though like as soon as we got into that little bubble, we became like this.
Mm-hmm.
And um wow.
And that goes look, and we might touch on this a little bit later, but that goes into compatibility as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, that ties in with zodiac, ties in with energies, right? Or at least to know, right? I have seen so many people that have doubted zodiac signs, but then have come around to be like, yeah, I guess that is true. Or what you just read, yeah, that is true.
There's some
So it's
truth
like
to it.
we are born with some personality things that are just in our nature based on when we're born around the sun and the planets. It just is. There's so much energy in that. So I think to at least go in knowing, or that, hey, okay, this person is a Virgo, so they need to get their work done.
Mm.
Cool. I know that before I could even enter the door. This person is an Aquarius, so they need a certain amount of freedom. All right. I know that I can't give them so many restrictions. So it's just certain things that are that we will naturally be more compatible to, depending on your zodiac sign. So it's something to not bypass. But
Hey. Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead. No,
Kiana
no,
just
go.
Kiana just joined us. She said, "Good evening, gentlemen." I said, "Hey, girl, how you
What's
doing?"
up?
Yes. Um. Yeah, I think zodiacs do play a part in it. Yeah, it does. It does. It's not the full thing. It's not the
Yeah,
entirety, but it does
yeah.
definitely play a part in it. I mean, shout out to those Aries because we got that fire.
Come on, Aries. What's up, Keith Kennard? Keith Kennard in the building,
What he
y'all.
say? Hey, Keith.
He says intimacy is never about the sex. It's always about releasing energy that's waiting to exhale. Woo! Come on, don't come in dropping gems now. Don't
First,
come in dropping gems.
first of all, Keith, can I just say I've known you or met you through through Chris, and I look forward to meeting you in person. I know we're Facebook friends, but also just what you just dropped right now is such the truth. And
Yes, yes.
yes. So, friend,
And we need intimacy.
yes, we need to find a time and date where we can hang out. But yes, that's a very big part of it. Like the sex, if you really truly think about it, is such a small aspect of it all. Like the actual act of it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
more so the things that are wrapped around it, like the contact, the checking in with each other, the reading the body languages, the
Yes,
synergy, coming in tune
yes.
with each other, like all that is so much into it because if it wasn't, then how is it that you can have one sexual encounter when it's like watching paint dry and then you have another sexual encounter where it's like euphoria? It's because of the
Yes.
things that are around it.
Yeah. Oh, that euphoric feeling. It's something, if you have words to explain each and every sexual encounter, then something ain't happening. Cause it should make you speechless sometimes. Right? Come on now.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not listen. Ooh, shit. I'm sorry. You had me thinking
Yeah.
about a moment that yeah, you're right. And all I could just remember in that moment is just trying to breathe.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it was great. It wasn't like I was holding my breath because I was scared. It was just like, it just like it kept building. It just kept
Yes.
building. I was just like,
Yes. And
oh.
we're still going. We're still going.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so now I want to reflect your original question back to you, which is what you asked me. In terms of having the best sexual compatibility partner,
Hmm.
what do you find in them? What is that best compatible partner for you?
Ooh, excuse me. Man, for me,
Mm-hmm.
I love the battle of power,
Okay,
but
talk to me.
it's never to hurt each other. It's more like it's kind of transferred from one person to the next,
Mm,
with it being in the best interest for both.
okay.
For me, Candy, don't call me out like that. um, for me, I've always told people when it comes to like this, for me as a gay man, I feel like even though I do enjoy the position of being a bottom, a lot of people I would say that I have power regardless because you can't even have no party without a bottom being present.
Mm,
And to know like you have that strength and how to utilize it, but at the same time allow for that dominant person to have that power over you and knowing that you
mm,
can switch it at any moment if you wanted to me
mm-hmm.
that's very it's such a good turn on.
Yeah.
um because yeah,
So you're saying something that you find really compatible in a partner is that they know how to shift the power,
acknowledging powers and respecting
acknowledging
both
powers.
powers, and someone who has a good ass ear in the bedroom who is listening and reading body language like they got their PhD in it.
Oh,
Like that is something that like
yeah,
if I ain't gotta tell you nothing and
yeah.
you just I gotta stop talking, y'all.
Okay, while you gather your breath, let me read some of these comments. Kiana, Kiana says, Kiana says, see, that's why I'm pregnant all over again. I
Hmm.
believe that she was referring to when you were saying like it built and it builds and it builds and it builds. And it sort of takes you to euphoria. And Keith explains euphoria. He says euphoria is only achieved when you have no breath left, only bliss, pure bliss. Um, and yeah, that's something that Keith and I have talked about before, which is like, what does bliss feel like? Like it is that moment when, it's that moment that literally takes your breath away. Who is that person, that partner that can make your heart skip a beat?
It's almost like breathing isn't really a priority at that time. It's just like
Or they're breathing for you, right? I mean, is that
ooh.
too, is that too, right? It's so shared. It's because look, we have to go back and look at the fact that sex is meant to be a union,
Hmm.
right? It is the deepest experience of becoming one with somebody that we could ever have.
Right?
It is a sharing of energy, it is a sharing of body, and if done correctly, it is also a spiritual experience.
Yes, it is.
Literally through the act of sex, we can create another life form. Like even just thinking about that means that there's so much energy flowing through us to be able to produce a thing,
And you
right?
ruined it for me.
So that's crazy. There's so much vitality built up in us when we are sexually excited.
Yeah.
There's so much. So to then, yeah, do that with somebody else is a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing to unite with somebody else.
Yeah, it is. Um, like almost to the like even when it comes to like the reactions that come with those euphoric moments where you find yourself in positions or find yourself reacting in a way that doesn't happen unless you have someone that puts you or taking you to those euphoric moments. Like the whole thing with your eyes rolling, or you lose your breath, or you quiver uncontrollably. Like
Hmm.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Or it's 4 hours later and you thought it was like, it felt, you thought it was like an hour and you like, dang, we've
We
been at it for
live
this long.
we live for a Titanic long session of sex.
Right, right, right.
um, okay.
Mm, that's
Hmm.
good. That's good. What's up, audio? Audio in the building.
Yes,
What's good,
listen,
fam?
better late than never, friend. I mean,
Right.
you can catch up. We just talking about sex and shit. No, we're talking about compatibility,
Yes.
and we were talking about what qualities um did your most sexual compatible partner possess.
Mm-hmm.
So you are more than welcome to add your 2 cents, friend.
Yeah.
Actually, all of y'all are more than welcome to add your 2 cents because I would
Yes.
be intrigued to see what some of y'all have to say. I know JL said the eagerness to please, which yes, that
Mm-hmm.
is grand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you've heard me laugh and giggle like a child on the podcast.
Oh, and that's something that I heard from a lot of people, right? So when I reached out and said, do you have a type? Who do you find yourself most compatible with? A lot of people said somebody who makes me laugh. And that sounds so simple, right? Somebody who makes me laugh, makes me cackle is sometimes what somebody says.
Yes, I would.
Um,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Oh, I was going to say that the one thing for me, the one thing I was able to, I guess, find or discover my sexiness
Yeah.
for me was I like being funny. I
Oh,
that is something that I enjoy doing. That's something I'm very confident in, and so
yes.
that is how I discovered that sexiness, sex appeal comes in so many ways, so many forms. Hold on. She said absolutely not.
Candy.
No more than an hour, please.
No more than an hour. I mean, look.
Girl. Okay, I'm sorry. No. That was
Well, okay, hold up now. Hold up now. Let's pause.
okay.
I'm going. It depends on who you are compatible with, right? If
Facts.
you like things done and over with, and the other person like things done and over with, then fantastic. I mean, ain't no problem. Ain't no problem.
Mm.
Now what I will say is I think what Brodie is feeling is that woo, when you get in that moment where you just have no more breath,
Yeah.
it's going to, I think, it's going to last a long time.
And I promise you, those 4 hours go by so quick. Like
It does.
it don't even seem like it's been an REM cycle. But
Yeah.
but
Kiana also said, I agree.
and you know, hey, maybe that long studio session ain't for everybody.
But let me put it like this though. I think the longer sex sessions have an array of different things, right? I'm not talking some form of like penetration for 4 hours. That's a
No.
lot. That's too much. However, there's so much that can happen. There's massage that can happen. There is kissing that can happen. There's foreplay.
Well
There
said.
is penetration. There is what'd you say?
Oral sex.
There's oral. I mean, there's sometimes it's just laying there recuperating some energy for another time. It's
Kiana says she said 4 hours seemed like a job. I
it's
I promise you it's not though. Like it's
yeah,
really
it's
not.
like
Oh, see, like I'm just gonna read what Keith said because I'm getting hot over
what do you
here.
say? What do you say?
He says, I love using a piece of ice or have learned that using ice
Ooh.
is a phenomenal way to discover your partner's sexual nuances.
Okay, ice. Come
Uh,
on, ice.
I
Have
just
you ever used ice?
have I used ice? I've used other things. Like I've used frozen fruit before. Oh God,
Okay.
I hope my mom ain't listening to this. Well, girl, you
Frozen
about to
fruit.
find
What
out.
you do? I'm not even going. I was about to ask what you do with the frozen fruit. I don't want to know.
There you go.
But you use the
Frozen
frozen fruit.
fruit, honey. Um,
Honey. Oh, that's a little
yes,
messy. Okay.
it can be. I'm not even gonna lie. It was gross, but it was great when it
I
was in
mess
public.
around, use some agave. I'd be like, yee.
Candle wax, handcuffs. I'm giving too much. Okay, so
Candle wax? Oh, you gotta educate me. What you gonna do with the candle wax?
oh, candle wax is amazing.
Does it not burn?
You have to get the massage candle wax.
Thank you. Okay, because
Hmm.
I don't want to be pouring no candle wax on somebody.
I mean, like yeah, you can massage, like it turns to massage oil, and
Wow. Wow.
it's a little bit of a, it don't burn to me
Okay,
because
that's good.
it's not like it's directly on the flame, but
Yeah.
it does kind of it's like a little quick shock. It's like oh, it's there,
Ooh, candle
yeah. But
wax.
once you get
Ooh.
adjusted and used to it, it's good. Candy says, Also, sex should be fun. I love a partner that if something happens, instead of being embarrassed, we can laugh about it.
Yeah,
Let's fall off the bed and giggle. I've done that several times.
that's real.
Oh,
That's real.
that can happen in that case. I'll do two, including foreplay and fun stuff.
Okay. Yeah, so she's addressing the 4 hours. And Audio said, "Are we taking no breaks?"
That's up to you, audio. I mean, if you got a stamina to go
Hey,
all
if
four
you
hours,
look, more power to you now.
yeah.
More power to you.
Yeah,
Candy said, "What if your partner hates the cold?"
sometimes they do. Then you use other things that will is
Yeah,
that
other things.
are stimulating. Like I said, you can use candle wax, massage candle wax oil. Um, you can use. Some people use fruit and vegetables. I mean, that's up to you. I
And vegetables.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't question nothing no more, y'all. I'm judgment free.
I don't.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's the
Um,
thing.
but now this is something that I read in a book, right? They said the most euphoric sexual experiences happen when you are activating all of the senses. And when they put it like that, I was like, oh, that's very interesting. So there was like not just a sexual experience where you are feeling. That's the only thing that you experiment with.
Mhm.
But you are experimenting with smell. You are experimenting with sight and visuals and what you see. The lights don't always have to be pitch black.
No, it don't.
Right? You're experimenting with these senses, with what you hear.
Do you
Music can take you somewhere completely different.
do you see this?
What I see?
Kiana says pop rocks are good and cherry cough drops work amazing on men.
Kiana, what you doing with the cough drop?
Girl, I already know what you're doing with the cough drop.
What you
With
doing?
the pop
What you
rocks.
doing with the?
I
What you
already
doing with the
know.
pop rocks? Hold up, educate me, cause I don't. I don't. What you doing?
She puts them in her mouth while she does a fellatio. Am I correct, Kiana?
Wow, pop rocks.
Yeah, girl, that's
The
clever.
cough drop.
I guess cough, because of menthol.
Oh, y'all, I ain't never heard of that one. That's interesting.
Mm.
Candy says pulls out notepad. Audio said
Pop
pop rocks. This is very
It's
educational.
very educational.
It is pop rocks.
Yeah, girl.
That's good.
Listen, put us on.
That is science. That is science class.
Right, put us on so we can put it down. Yes.
She said my husband goes bananas with the rocks. Audio says the best way to enjoy sex is using all the senses. Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I feel like if you are, for my people out there who are in a situation where you're looking to make your sexual experiences more fun, more exciting, I'm sure there's somebody out there. Definitely ask yourself the question: how can you activate another sense in the bedroom? Right? What can you play a piece of music? Can you light a candle to activate smell? Can you change the lighting situation? What's the other senses? Taste. Can you bring food into the equation?
Yeah,
all this
can be handled with foreplay. Foreplay, yes. Bring food into it. Touch, taste, smell, all of that. Like, ooh, I mean, nothing greater than like having your favorite album, love making album on the background while someone feeds you chocolate covered strawberries and they are taking maybe feathers and like slowly caressing your body to get you in the mood. Yeah, or massaging you down. It's all of that. It's all that. That's why communication is so important and you being able not only to listen, but to actually converse what you need, both verbally, physically, hell, sexually.
So clearly, I got some things to try. Keith says peppermints take you to a place where only the bold are willing to go.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I had to get up close on the mic for that one.
I love it. Peppermints. Oh, this is educational. Okay. Candy says, I got to have some music. Changes the whole rhythm every 3 minutes. That's real. Love that.
I ain't gonna lie,
That's
girl.
real.
Sometimes I be in the mood or be in the moment. I don't even hear the fucking music. Like
but your body hears it. It hears it somewhere inside.
It hears music, but not the music that's playing. You take that what you like.
Here's a little
That how you
different
like.
instrumentation,
There's
huh,
there's
Brody?
some percussion that's happening between two bodies, and that's all.
Audio says play some games. Now, I'm assuming audio, you're not talking about the Nintendo Switch. I'm assuming you're talking about, play some foreplay games. Um, yeah. He says, be comfortable and don't be afraid to laugh at each other. Yeah,
Yeah.
not everything gonna work. Not everything gonna work. I've definitely had some experiences where we have tried something and we're like, yeah, we don't like that. All
Mm-mm.
right, cool,
Mm-mm.
cool. We ain't doing that again. And that's fine too, right? Go in with the notion of, we're gonna experiment on making this better, making this more exciting.
Right,
Something
right,
like that.
right, right, right. So Janae says peppermint. Ooh, no, thank you.
Now,
I listen.
Now, Janae, unless you've had, now, Janae, have you tried it? Right? Have you tried it?
It's good,
Is the
girl.
question.
It's good. Like, oh shit. Sorry.
Audio said not the Nintendo.
if you're weary about it, you should try washing with Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap. And I
If
don't
y'all don't know Dr. Bronner,
and I don't know after that, I don't know how you don't like it because that thing felt great.
yeah, give your body a little tingle.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Jesus
little
be
pick me up.
offense. Kiana says, I love y'all. I love y'all. I so love y'all podcast. I promise I can read. And girl, we love you too. Thank you for being
Yeah,
in
we love you for
attendance.
being here, right?
She said it burns. Oh, shit.
It burns. I use it for my headaches. Okay. Okay, hold up. Let me set the bar.
Baby,
Peppermint essential oil is a lot. Please don't go out
Oh,
here using
no.
peppermint essential oil.
You're supposed
If you use peppermint essential oils works for my headaches too. That's what I use. But please don't use no essential oil peppermint
No.
in the bedroom. That is
No.
too strong.
That's supposed to be
It's too strong.
diluted. Yeah, you're supposed to use
That is
carrier oil for that. Child, you
woo.
about to get second and third degree burns with that.
Yeah, don't listen to us if that's what you think we talking about.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you want something that's going to dilute the peppermint. Like the oil. You don't want anything that's super strong like that. Like you should never put peppermint directly on any of those sexual areas.
Please don't.
That's just not good news.
Yeah, and Dr. Bronner's is diluted.
Yes, you will not feel the burn.
Yeah, Megan says, explain how this peppermint works.
Well,
now, to my understanding, to my knowledge, there's one form which functions sort of like the cough drop form. I think is like putting the peppermint in your mouth while you are either licking, sucking something. I think the peppermint allows some different explosive temperatures to come out.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Well, since we open canvas, let's just go ahead and open.
It's just open canvas, y'all. I mean, come on.
So from my experience, I had a partner that took a peppermint and they performed oral on my glute area.
Oh wow, yes.
And when I tell you,
that's probably different. That probably hit different.
It is so good.
Oh, that hit different.
It was so good because it's like the warmness.
Peppermint oral on the glutes.
Yes. And obviously, I mean the rectal area.
In the glutes, yes.
Yeah, the rectal area.
Between the glutes.
I couldn't think of the word, but yeah, for me, it was like, shit. It was like, for one, with the combination of like the menthol feel, along with like their warm mouth and like the breathing, it was great. It was great. So that's why I enjoyed it. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I promise you, if you're going to try tea, this is the tea you want to try.
See, look, after this podcast, we need to get some stock in a peppermint company. Everybody going to be going to the stores like, where's that?
Them niggas Brodie and C-Lane said, get some peppermints.
Y'all sold out too? Megan said, are we blowing the coolness on somewhere?
Megan, we got
this audio says icy hot.
No.
Now, audio, are you recommending? Hold on, he might say.
Death?
Oh, he said, nah, peppermint gives that icy hot like feeling. Okay, I didn't
Oh.
know if you were taking the icy hot and doing something with it. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Candy says, OMG, I love all of this. Icy hot. Haha, you gotta explain that second and third degree. And yes, Keith helped clarify as well. He said, I'm talking about a piece of peppermint candy. Trust me, that brother will be sleeping after you finish.
Yes.
Ooh!
Yes.
Come on, sleeping.
Yes.
Come on, good night.
Yes.
Come on, good night.
She said, "Where do they place it?" In Katie, I mean, Megan, girl, I don't know.
Ain't nobody trying to choke. Well, start off slow. I
Yeah.
mean, don't go ramming anything.
Besides,
we trust you.
It wasn't my mouth, so I don't know where it was. Hell of shit, mama. Hey, I mean, ooh, she heard me say shit. I said it again.
Yes, I love it. It is open canvas.
Oh,
we
my
love
God.
these moments, y'all, where our family tunes in. We love these moments.
My mama.
We love these moments. So we are just talking about different techniques that we can use to further explore and excite excite the bedroom. So this is good. Audio says, how do y'all feel about aggressive sex like BDSM? Personally, I think we've had part of this conversation before.
Okay.
Personally, I'm not a fan. And that's simply because it takes me out of the sexual experience to even play like I'm causing somebody else pain. And maybe that's something that I gotta go back and discover why that is, but I don't like the idea of causing people pain. And I know that's just me.
You get one trial run.
Okay, one trial run of BDSM.
And as soon as shut up, JL. And
I love it. Keep going.
oh, you get
one trial run.
You get one trial run. But in this trial run, you don't do anything to my head or my face. As soon as a smack or slap comes anywhere right here, it's done. It's done.
Okay. And ground rules, right? I know one way BDSM works is setting some ground rules beforehand, safe words.
Yeah.
Something. I'm curious if anybody on here has experimented with it, and did you like it, or did you say, nope, we ain't doing this again?
Right. They are aggressive don't equal pain.
One thing that I discovered real quick is that, Brodie, I thought I would really love role play, but I didn't.
That's
something about me unlearning the person. Like, for me, treating somebody as a stranger in the role play was like, this is weird, psychologically weird to me.
Really?
Because Brodie, I'm a good actor, so I believe what I'm acting out. I feel like in order to do role play effectively, you got to have some distance from your character.
Maybe your scene partner wasn't good.
Scene partner was actually kind of good.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but that's dangerous.
Did they go?
But ain't no. But ain't it dangerous if both people can act out the role play very well? I don't know. It was something where I was like, yeah, this is kind of scary. Not that the role play was scary at all, but it's like you start to believe it. But that was just me.
I think maybe your suspension of belief was hard. It was hard for you to escape it.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you have to go in it as just like acting. You know, you don't know where the scene can go. You just know that you have to get from point A to point B. And even with role playing, you have to get to point A to point B. I've done role playing before. I loved it. I think what I liked about it because I was, me coming from a performance background, my partner wasn't, and it got them to a point where they were like, they were aroused.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
So like they were like into it. So I think like seeing them get into it and the way they were going turned me on.
Yeah.
And so at this point, it was like, especially when you get to the point where it's the sex, it's like you can
Yeah.
drop the act by that time because y'all got to the goal.
So Candy says, me either pull my hair and I'm immediately taken out.
Yeah.
And Candy, you got some people who will be like, yes, pull it all. Audio says aggressive can be just a little pressure, not necessarily pain. Okay. Yeah, so a certain severity, establishing the severity of aggression. Janae says red light, green light. Yep, I guess that's communication. Candle wax can be a form of pain.
Yes.
I'm interested about this candle
Get a
wax, y'all.
massage.
I got 10,000 candles over here.
Get a massage oil candle, and when you melt it, you rub it on your partner's body, and it's amazing.
Wow, and you just wax. You ain't got to let the wax cool. Wow. Audio says that's deep. Megan says, and did not smack my ass. I hate that with a passion.
Really?
Okay.
Oh my God.
Now, I haven't heard a lot of that. I feel like people usually love that, but that's good.
Give me
That's
that
good
sting.
to know that that's not universal.
Give me that sting.
Give me that sting. Janae says, not with the ASMR.
Sometimes you have to pull it out.
ASMR, I forget the acronym, y'all, but it's like close up audio.
Audio sensory. I don't know. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
say
when
it
you
like I
get
know
real
what it is.
close up to the mic. Yeah, that's good.
But sometimes people make noises and like they do stuff like this and go
yes.
stuff like that. So yeah.
And that's something that I realize that I love is like sounds. I'm a sound person. For those of you who don't know, I'm a sound person. So you give me some whispers, I'm just done. Keith says aggressive sexual experience doesn't necessarily mean being rough, but allowing yourself permission to release your hidden sexual potential.
Yes.
Hidden sexual potential. That's good. That's good. And I feel like that goes into a little bit of the power that you were bringing up earlier. A balance of power and a shift.
Let's see. Candy says, experimented with choking. I don't like it, but they loved it. See, I'm not here with choking, but I do like a nice little, just again, let me know that you're present. Just a nice grip around the neck. I don't know, just it kind of it builds up the connection. If you choke me, you will get cut. Like I'm not trying to die. Like I just want to feel you there. I don't want you to kill me. I don't like to be like I can't breathe. No, if I can't breathe, I want to be I can't breathe because the sex is great, not because you're literally cutting off my airway.
Yes. Yeah, that's a little intense. Candy says, I like an occasional ass smack. Just occasional. Ooh, I've always wanted to do role play. Switch my wig, make her feel like he's cheating.
Come on.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Hey.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, Candy, I know you are a performer as well, so I'd be interested to see you take on that role and like whether you like it or whether you don't. You know, that'd be I think that's definitely interesting. She says, I wear wigs, so pull my hair and you will get something in your hand you weren't expecting. I love it.
Ooh,
I
Jeebus.
love it. Yes, pull my hair and good luck. Jessica Brodie, come on,
Sister.
Says, in what way, friend? Ass smacking my thing.
I think maybe are you saying shifting gears like you go from 0 to 60 with the ass smack? Like does it just like it ignites you like all right we in this shit we doing it boom let's go, or like shift gears as in like you turn the lights off we close for business? You're Jessica, you're fine. Mama's on here and she heard all the things and I've had the moment. We're totally fine. We are. It's a family affair.
Megan says she likes a neck grip, but not a full-on choke. I don't. Yeah. Nobody has ever choked me, which is fine with me. That's fine by me.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was like a nice clasp around my we were doggy, and he had like a clasp around my neck, and I loved that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Who? No,
What?
keep going. I'm jumping. We have so many
Candy
comments.
says, sorry, it was a grip, LMAO, but as climax happens, that hand gets a little tighter.
Fair. It does.
That's very fair, Candy. Um,
Mm.
that's very fair.
So when he climaxes or
Mhm.
when he does the grip, make sure you are in doggy. That way it doesn't cut off your airflow. Because if he grabs it from the back, it feels great. But if he grabs it from the front, you can't breathe. Mama, don't
That's
judge your
true.
son.
That's true. Audio says high sex, drunk sex, sober sex. Okay,
High sex.
that's a segue.
High sex all the way.
Yeah, yeah. Drunk sex. What's the difference though? Talk to me, Brodie. What's the difference between high sex, drunk
I
sex?
feel like with being high, I'm still coherent and aware. I'm just goofy and I'm free and relaxed.
Okay.
Whereas with drunkenness, there is impairment and movement's not necessarily the best. And sometimes for some people, arousal is kind of hard to achieve when impaired. So
Hmm.
yeah, but for me, high sex all day, especially I don't know if you haven't climaxed while you're high, you are missing out.
Yeah, you feel things more. Yeah, because being high puts you more in tune with your senses.
Yes. Oh my
So
God.
if what we said earlier stands true, that euphoria, sexual euphoria, happens when all of the senses are kind of activated and going through a bliss,
Going
then
through a
yeah,
bless.
being high gonna take you somewhere different. It's
It'll
gonna hit
take you there.
different. Um, yeah, and that is to say, I would also agree. Even though drunk sex, I have had some good drunk sex, and it's not bad. I mean, if you drunk to the point where you ain't gonna remember nothing, then all right,
If you
it ain't gonna
drunk
be
to the
amazing.
point where your dick sleep, it's not gonna happen.
Okay, never experienced that, but yeah, I'm sure it's not. Kiana says it's a turn on. Period. Wait, did I skip something? No. Okay.
She's talking about
Um,
ass smacking. It's a turn on period. Yes, it is. It really is. If y'all,
audio.
mm, sorry, what? That's what I was laughing at this shit choke. You gonna get somebody to choke you, audio.
Choke me. He said, I don't care. Choke me.
You
Um,
gonna get somebody to choke you, friend. You just have to find someone who has a strong grip and who ready to like
that's good. That's
do that to
good.
you. You gonna find that person's gonna
That's
choke you. I'm
good.
sure.
That's good.
Uh,
Um, Kiana says, I don't care for drunk sex.
me neither.
How high? How drunk? And yeah, how high?
Drunk, you shouldn't be drunk in my opinion. Tipsy, sure. High, I think not high. Oh, that's true because sometimes you can get very high.
Yeah. If y'all
Um,
messing with those edibles, you never know. You
mhm.
never know how high you gonna get.
I think I think you should be high enough to where you are free
Mm.
but still grounded.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Keith says, has anyone used Rush during sex to enhance your sexual experience? Yeah, go for it.
educate us, Papa Keith, because I do not.
Oh, Rush. It's an aphrodisiac. So it's an aphrodisiac where it comes in a little bottle.
And
Well,
people inhale it.
sometimes in a little bottle. Not inhale. You like sniff it. You sniff it.
That's what you do when
And
you
it's like,
inhale. You sniff, Chris.
oh, inhale. I thought, when you say inhale, I think of like you snorting it. But okay,
Uh,
but inhale. Okay,
so
yes,
oh,
you
okay. So
breathe it in.
I didn't know it as rush. I knew it as poppers.
Okay.
I personally have not, but I know people that do use poppers and it works wonders for them. I know people use it as a muscle relaxer to help with things like penetration to receive. So you know, that's all I pretty much know about it. I haven't. Have you dealt with poppers or rush?
Yes. I think I have, but it didn't do much for me. It didn't do much for me. Um, or maybe it did, but I didn't recognize it as much. Uh, yeah, and then Candy says, I like drunk sex. That's when I get bold and feel like I can try things.
But baby, you should
High
get that way
sex.
regardless.
Ooh, okay, that's a word, Brody.
Just saying.
Brody said, okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
High sex feels like it's going on forever and again. The time. LOL, sober sex is cool though. And Candy, I do want to speak to that because I would agree with that. I would agree with that. When you're drunk, you know, you do get bold, right? You do get bolder. I don't necessarily have the same level of drunk boldness does not apply to my high boldness. So I can see how that could be like, oh yeah, let's do this, let's do that. You know, it might get you out of your comfort zone. Now to what Brody said, I would say that notice how bold you're getting and then have that sort of third eye so you can be like, okay, now I can do this without the drunkenness. Because anything we can do when we're drunk, we could do when we're sober.
Yeah.
We just got to know how to turn it on.
I feel like because I think for me what that reads, and I could be completely wrong. I don't want to say that this is what your truth is, but like when people say I can do this when I'm drunk but not do it when I'm sober, is because there's amount of insecurities or discomfort with your partner that you have that you can't have until you are impaired to an extent. So I'm sorry, I wasn't laughing at that. I don't know why. For some reason, when I see after the whole choke me thing, all your responses, I'm a fan. So when I see Rush, it's just like Rush. Like I don't know why.
Right. Poppers, Rush. I feel like he got a list out. Like yes, Rush.
Like I don't
Poppers,
even know
peppermints.
I don't even know what you sound like, but I don't know why. But in my head, when I saw Rush, I just thought Rush. Like.
He said, "Please and thank you for the link." Yeah, somebody get him a link to Rush. Let's see it. Can we put a link in the chat? Anybody got that capability? Anybody on Google?
Candy said, "You literally read that exactly how I wrote it. Thank you, LML."
Ooh,
wow.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Keith says, yes, you inhale it. Yes, poppers. It's phenomenal and allows you to be unlimited with your partner. The true rhythm of human bodies is what makes sexual love implicit. And Keith, I want to reiterate something that we brought up earlier, which is, yes, experiment with your senses. And I know some people are more smell people than others. I know some people are more audio people than others. Some people are more taste people. So experiment with, I would be curious to know what sense is your favorite, right? Ooh. To experiment with in the bedroom. And I want to pose that question to you, Brodie, and our audience. What sense really gets you going? For me, it's my ears. If somebody licks my ears, I'm just done. I could be in a meeting and I'd be like, yep, time to go. So lick, like anything with my ears, something about the sound. For me, the sound of sex is a huge turn on for me.
Yes!
So literally, I want to be able to hear the flesh, smacking together. And that to me is like, woo! Oh my goodness. Like that could take me to another level. Just the sound.
Jesus.
So yes, Keith, yes to the inhaling. For people who might be smell people, please experiment with that. Yes. But yes, Brodie, go to you. What's your sense?
Oh. So, okay. Ooh, that's tough. Okay. Smells do something for me, and also contact. Like, let's just say we use the same meeting scenario, if my partner was to come and approach me and like nibble on my neck,
yeah.
Oh, I'm done. I'm like, hey,
okay.
y'all, I need y'all to leave because y'all gonna see some shit that y'all probably don't want to. And
right.
I don't care if you do; it's up to you. But I just know that I am unable to press the end conversation button.
I'm unable to turn this webcam, Zoom cam off.
My man is over here nibbling on my neck. So
right.
like that's just where I'm at. So yeah, like something like that, like it gets me wild. Let's go to some of these responses. Audio says, "Look, I'm here with the shit. You feel me? Yes, Audio, I do. Like,
We do.
you're one of our few viewers that like not few. I enjoy everyone, but like I definitely enjoy when I see you pop up because you are always a go for everything." Candy says, "Oh, for sure, it's that liquid courage for me. I mean, I can't do a split unless I'm drunk." Fair.
Well, that means you can do a split.
She can, but it's like she wouldn't try it if she was
Oh,
sober
okay. Okay,
because,
I understood.
yeah.
Oh, liquid courage. Yes,
hmm
liquid courage.
And then Audio says, "All five senses for me
Yes.
together, separately, don't matter." Yes. JL says, "Not in the
Not in the
middle of a
middle.
business meeting." Hey,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
turns me on even more.
I heard about that. So some people have expressed that they get a huge turn on if somebody else is like working or in the middle of a meeting or a phone call or driving or something,
Mhm.
and they shouldn't be. It's the mindset of we shouldn't be doing this, but we are.
Yeah.
That turns them on.
There was I'll give y'all a little insight. When we were doing this podcast last year and I was dating
Uh
someone,
oh.
there have been nothing
Oh,
physical,
okay.
but like
I'm about to say during the podcast, Brody. It's like, no.
no, but there have been definitely moments where they would text me because they
Yeah.
were turned on by like conversation and intelligence. But there were definitely times where they would text me things like, "Oh, I wish that I could have your legs up and do X, Y, and Z." And like, if you ever look
Oh.
back on old episodes and see me smirk, it's because it's because that individual has sent some freaky shit, and
Ooh,
I
that's
loved it.
funny. That's funny.
And stuff like that was just it was a turn on. It would just lead to some nasty conversation or just us meeting up afterwards.
Yes.
So yes. Let's see. Mama says you're funny. My mom
Thank
thinks
you,
you're funny,
Mama.
Lane.
Thank you.
Oh,
I
something
try.
about a panty dropper. I can't. Hold on. I want to get that.
Where you see that at?
Oh, okay. Megan Dilworth said, "If you smell good, it's a panty dropper." Yes, yes, on site.
Mm.
Um,
Oh,
can,
if you smell good. Okay.
yes.
That's good.
I love specifically the smell of like cologne around someone's neck and it mixes with their body scent.
Oh.
Oof.
Oh, yeah. It's not straight cologne. It's like a little bit of naturality.
Like I'm pregnant with your child.
Keith
Um,
said the tongue is a powerful tool.
yes it is.
Woo! Nipples and tongue with music. Hell yeah.
Mm, 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 mm,
The
mm.
tongue is powerful. Knowing how to work your tongue.
Cause not everybody do, child.
Not everybody does.
Right. Some people know
Um,
how to lick the plate, and then some people just like they lapping up for water, and it's not the same.
yes.
Not the
Like
same.
literally the tongue is a powerful muscle.
hmm
Could do a lot with that. Um,
Communicate both
yes.
sexually and physically.
Now let's talk about nipples for a second.
Yes, let's talk about.
Me personally, I'm not a nipple person. Like it doesn't do anything for me if somebody is looking. Yeah, it doesn't. It
Have you had
doesn't.
someone nibble on you, like use the teeth and everything?
Yes, I think yeah.
Well, no, because that was a very hesitant.
No, no, no. I had to think, but yeah.
Ooh, because if he
It
bites,
doesn't do.
right,
And I mean, of course, everybody's body is different. So I think mine is just not a. It's just not a sensitive spot.
Jail said it's the nips for me. Let me tell you, if someone knows how to use their tongue to flick your nipple or suck
Mm,
on it hard enough to get it
mm,
like yeah, it's yeah.
yes.
I would just say maybe find someone who got like some really
Okay.
powerful lips.
Okay. I ain't find the right person. Hey, that could be true. I ain't gonna deny it.
Or JL says nips, 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 nips.
Nips, 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 nips.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Mm.
JL said it's a rap
It's
pat
a
of
wrap.
me.
Come on.
Yeah, nips are a good one. Yeah, all those things. I don't know, like for me, I think because I've tried to go into sexual experiences being open to what people need as far as them meeting my needs, I've discovered that there are some things that were turn-ons and things that I needed, things that I enjoyed. So, nipple play was something that was I didn't know I needed it until I got
Mm.
it, and now that I got it, I needed it. I need it. So,
And thank you, thank you for bringing this full circle. But that is what we need to know, right? We need to know what we need. Okay? If you are in a situation with somebody and they are unable to give you what you need or hit anything on your priority list or be open to experimentation, then don't consistently put yourself by the wayside. Right? Don't
Facts.
just say, oh, I'm going to forget about that. Or, oh, I know I had a priority list, but now my priorities are changing because I'm blinded by love.
Oh, that's what we were talking
No.
about?
Huh?
I
No,
forgot we
no.
were talking about.
Right. I'm just tying it back.
Okay.
So yeah, know what you need. And sometimes it can be small stuff like this. Like, yeah, you need to know that you like some nipple play. That's fair. Know that. Communicate that. And hopefully your partner is open to that as well. And if they ain't, then hey, you might have just got a little yellow flag. Don't ignore it though.
Right. I agree with that. And sometimes yellow flags, it's a pause or it's a slow down. And maybe that slowdown can mean that it's not for you, or maybe it's a thing where you have to think about it and internalize. Was there anything about it that was enjoyable? And maybe you just need to give it a second try. But again, ultimately, yes, listen to your body. I'm telling you, it will never steer you wrong. Um, and you will find what you need. You will find what you can tolerate or what you're okay with. And it's okay to not be okay with certain things where everyone's like saying, "Oh, you should love this." Like, I know I've been saying that I like this and that, and I'm like, really? But stay within your comforts of your lane. And if that is you just having, if that's just you, if you, whatever that may be, you just do that.
JL says, "Woo! Let me leave this live stream."
Ciao.
And look,
Listen.
I understand.
Can I point out we actually went over 30 minutes more than our normal time?
Come on, look, that's fine.
I'm good with it.
Audio says, "I'm curious, what's everyone's special spot? Does anyone have a special spot? Mine is the lower right corner. That's specific. The lower right corner of my back. Wow."
I have spots.
Yeah, I have spots. It's kind of not all around, but yeah, I definitely have some spots.
It's, for me, it's the neck, the inner thigh, and weirdly enough, like around my knees.
No, same with the knee thing.
Yeah, like for some reason, my partners really enjoy to kiss or do things with the inner thigh, and like it's to the point where it's an uncontrollable reaction where I'll be like, ha! I really can't. I honestly can't control myself. And they're like, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "This is doing a lot. It's very
It's a
overstimulating."
lot. Yeah.
But like a part of them was like they like the reaction, so they keep doing it, and I like it. But at the same time, it's like
It's overstimulating.
well, and also the airy side of me is like I lose all control.
Oh yeah.
So like to not have that control.
And you want ooh, that's deep. That's deep. You gotta let go, Brodie. You just gotta let go.
I
You just gotta
know.
let go.
It's so good, but I hate it at the same time.
Let go.
Oh man. So anybody care to answer Audio's question?
Yes.
What are your spots on your body?
Candy says, "OMG, I wish my nipples were a turn on." See, come on. Candy the same. She said, "I don't feel anything." And I feel like that's really rare. Well, apparently not, because I'm the same way. So,
Keith says, my hot spot is any place on my body that makes me twitch and lose control.
yeah. And for me, Keith, a lot of times it's the pacing of my spot.
Yeah.
Right? It's not, for me, I just don't like rushing through things. Like if you touch me in certain areas, but it's quick or, it moves on to the next area very quickly, I'm not really going to feel much. But if you like delicately touch something on my body, I'm going to just lose it. I'm like, it's something about patience that turns me on.
It's that cater. It's that catering. It's that to know that someone is actually taking the time to listen to what you need, and that is just eternal on it in itself. Like all you have to do,
Yeah.
they're just like you just relax. I got you. There was one gentleman in particular that I can't remember when, but I remember the first time we were intimate and like again had that whole aggressive but gentle kind of care, just had me relax and again found out that my spot was my thighs and like
Mm.
fought against like he fought it because I ain't gonna lie, like when that happens that they try to close and he just like he
Nope.
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 Yeah, he spread my legs open and just went for it. And I hated it but loved it at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man. Mm, I gotta get the
Keith,
fuck up off of
Keith,
here.
Keith said exactly. You get in life what you have the courage to ask for. I love that. I'm personally doing more of that in my life, and with romantic partners. Not being afraid to ask for things that I know are on my priority list, or I know that are on my "this will really turn me on" list. And I feel like that could go for all of us to know and be aware of that is in this conversation right now, which is there's always more that we can communicate. There is always, more truth that we can share with somebody that we're dating or a significant other. But
Yo,
to what degree will we do it?
my uncle's on. I swear
Yes.
this is a family affair.
Come
I
on,
love the
family
support though. I
affair.
appreciate it. I do. Hey, Uncle G. I just didn't know that the whole family reunion was gonna
this,
show up on the
this
episode
is
where we talk about
support.
sexual
This is
compatibility.
support.
I do.
Because it relates to everybody.
It does.
It
It
relates
does.
to everybody. It don't matter who you are.
And I want everyone to kind of pay attention. Like, we talked about our inner self or working about our past and things like that. And, now we're talking about sexual compatibility because sometimes the things that we are compatible with or what we need in our sex lives are some of the things that we might have lacked in childhood, or sometimes some of the things that that was a comfort for us in childhood.
Mm. Oh, that was a comfort. Okay, that's interesting.
Well, like, okay, for an example,
Yeah.
I think the reason why I love the smell, like I love being up under someone's neck, is because when my mom held me as a baby, I was always right there on top of her bosom, and my face was always
Oh.
in her neck, and it was just always a
Oh, that's
comfortable
deep.
place. So, like for me,
That's deep. Oh,
eh,
that's deep. That sounds like a whole anthropological project.
yeah. So for me, like whenever I'm cuddling with my dude, I like being up under his neck. Also because that's a
Yeah.
spot where you can feel a pulse and you can hear them breathing. So like
Mm.
it's just I don't know, it's just all encompassing for me. So I really enjoy that. Um and then do we want to
And
get
yeah,
do we
and
want to
probably for me too, why I love sound so much. Like if somebody's whispering in my ear or licking my ear or something, it's probably because I grew up around music. My father was a musician, so it's like I I had a very trained ear from an early age, So that yeah, I could definitely see how that could be a thing. That's a good point.
yeah. Um so what do we think, Elaine? Should we continue on? Or we thinking?
Let's summary and wrap it up.
Yeah.
We got another comment here real quick. Keith says it's all about knowing that what I'm about to experience is being taken care of in a way that allows my insecurities to melt.
Hey, hey,
Oh,
yes.
y'all, if we leave with anything, yes, you have found a sexual compatible partner if they free you from yourself.
Insecurity. What? Insecurity. Who?
Right, because
Like,
we all got insecurities, but if you have a partner that amplifies your insecurities, oh, y'all gotta go. You might think the sex is great. You might think y'all are connected, but if they are amplifying your insecurities because they might be judgmental or because they have their own ego and they don't want to step outside of their comfort zone or do things differently, if they're amplifying your insecurities, just ask yourself that question. And if the answer is yes, you got to rethink some things.
Yeah.
Or you got to communicate some things and be bold there. But something needs to shift and change.
Yes.
Your insecurities should melt.
Mm.
Come on, Mr. Keith Kennard. Y'all, we have talked about a lot.
We have.
And we thank you all for everything that you've put into this conversation.
Yes.
Yes, we got excited at sometimes. We may have gotten aroused at sometimes.
May have.
But we we definitely want you to walk away with the some things that we talked about, which is everybody, no matter who you are, has some masculine and feminine energies.
Yes.
So knowing how that you can balance that is not only going to make you a stronger partner in a relationship, but knowing how to communicate those energies that you need makes that other person stronger in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
We also spoke about knowing the things that you need.
Yes.
And potentially writing that down if you need to. Knowing your needs, knowing your priorities. And not turning a blind eye if you find yourself in a relationship, noticing those yellow flags, sometimes red flags. Brodie, did I miss anything?
I was going to add on to it saying don't diminish the value of your priorities.
Yes.
Sometimes people get themselves in relationships and they focus so much on pleasing their partner that they don't please themselves within the relationship, and it becomes one-sided. No one is in a relationship to date themselves or a reflection of themselves. They're dating someone to get to know someone. So make your presence just as present as their presence in the relationship.
Love it. And that in turn will be a present. Hey, come on, Rob. Somebody, they should put us on a podcast, Brodie.
Oh my God, you're right.
So yes, and don't be afraid to write things down, right? Don't be afraid to actually go grab a journal and be like, what are my priorities and needs? You might surprise yourself.
Yes.
So yeah, y'all, we appreciate you for this conversation. Brodie, what they need to know?
So what you need to know is, friends, this was episode 39. So next week, it's our 40th episode. Actually, Chris, I wanted to talk to you about something. And see how you feel about it. And friends,
on air.
You're right.
So, off air.
Well, I mean,
on air?
It's not bad. Okay, so I think that because it's our 40th and we made it this far, and some of y'all have been with us from day one. Some of y'all joined us and have been so supportive throughout. What I would love, if you guys feel comfortable, submitting a quick video as to like, why do you enjoy Open Canvas Live? And possibly we can feature that on our pages, just saying that, oh my gosh, I tune in because of blah, 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 or I really enjoyed episode blah, 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 or what has Open Canvas done for you, if it's done anything, whether it just made you laugh or made you really think about some deep decisions. Please send that to us at opencanvaslive@gmail.com. We would love to see what you guys have to say.
And also, if you know us personally, you could just send it to one of us, and we'll make sure it gets to the right place.
That part, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So for our 40th episode, we have something really awesome that we're having. We're gonna do a collaborative piece. I'm just gonna keep it at that because
special guests.
Special guests to give us perspective in the most royal fashion ever. So I look forward to having our guests with us next week, and I look forward for you guys joining us for next week's episode. But in the meantime, while you're out there, in between time, please be safe, sane, and sanitized.
Deuces.
Peace.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. Have a good night.